Hello and welcome to The Lukey Show. Is anxiety a main character in your life? It doesn't have to be. A very, very long time ago, when I was just a child, I have my very earliest memory of having anxiety. When I was in grade six, and yes, I'm saying grade six because I'm Canadian. This is a random thought, but apparently American people say sixth grade, but I'm saying grade six. When I was in grade six, I had this random desire to become a hockey player. Now, I had never played hockey before, but whenever I wanted to randomly do something, I just decided to do it. And I have the best parents in the world, so they're very, very supportive of me. And they were like, okay, go on, do do the hockey. They signed me up, they got me all the equipment. I spent months and months training to be able to go on the ice and play hockey. Now, I was very proud of myself. My dad is super supportive. He helped me through the entire thing. And then on my very first game, I got ready, I met the team, and I was ready to go on the ice. And then all of a sudden, I had a mysterious sickness. So I couldn't get on the ice, and my dad was helping me. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm gonna throw up." And then I think I threw up. I'm not sure. I think either I was gagging or I threw up. Eventually I actually got on the ice and I was totally fine. I did have major anxiety every single game after that, but I pushed through it and I got through the ice. This is my first time having extreme anxiety to the point where I didn't even know I was having anxiety, but my body just decided to pretend that I had the flu or something to get out of something that I didn't want to do because I knew it would give me major anxiety. Now, I was only a child, so it's kind of hard to. I'm not going to judge myself for doing that because I didn't really know what was happening. I just was very anxious about the situation. But let's fast forward to grade 9. So, obviously, I am gay and that makes me a little bit different than everyone else. So, in the first few years of high school, I had trouble fitting in and kind of knowing who I wanted to hang out with. I remember the first day of grade 9, I had to make a choice to sit either with the boys and cosplay as a straight person or sit with the girls and possibly have my gay identity revealed by my actions of sitting with girls during lunch, which honestly sounds completely ridiculous now that it's like many years later. So instead of doing that, I completely avoided the situation and did my typical go to the bathroom and throw up or gag or just completely avoid the situation. Now, obviously, my parents knew that there was something wrong with me. Like, I don't know, obviously, I just had some issues and they put me in therapy, as they should. Thank you, mom and dad. Love you for that. Eventually, I just sat with the girls and people maybe thought on their minds, oh, he's gay, but no one actually said that to me and nobody came for me or attacked me or harassed me. So I really was kind of overthinking that whole situation with hindsight now, but in the moment I was really freaked out about it, but it all went away. So I had this issue with anxiety and it kind of just stayed. I didn't really know. I mean, they told me I had anxiety. So I kind of was just like, okay, this is something I have for the rest of my life now. And I'm just going to be traumatized in every single scenario that I'm in. But I mean, we know now that's completely not true. But I was just a kid. When you're a kid, you don't really realize how complex the world is and how complex your mind is. So it started getting really bad. And I went to the doctor to get diagnosed with anxiety and depression, yada, yada, yada. My doctor handed me this sheet of paper with a bunch of different medications, and she said, okay, girl, which one do you want? In the moment, I was reading these symptoms. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I have anxiety, but do I want well, I saw weight gain, I saw all kinds of shit, and I'm like, girl, like this is not worth it. Like I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get all these things just because I have anxiety. I said to my doctor, I actually want to try therapy first and see if that works, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll get pills. Thank God I said that. That is the decision in my life that I am so proud of myself for doing. I am so happy that I did that. It's literally the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. And this is no hate to anyone who takes pills. Everyone experiences anxiety differently. But to me, I feel like that would have been very negative to start taking those very early in my life and to just, I don't know, rely on that. It's besides the point. Fast forward again, I went to university. Now, if you want to know my lore, I have been to several different post secondary educations. I love to go to a school and drop out, but you know what? It's just my path. So we're not here to judge, guys, okay? My first year of university was very different than my regular life. I used to live in a small town, that's where I grew up, and then I moved to Ottawa. So here was 4 hours away from where I lived. I was by myself. Low key, I was in a program that I really didn't like at all. I went to school for poli sci, and I was very interested in poli sci before, so I had to pick something, and then I went there, and something about it was just not giving. I was genuinely not really interested in it at all, but I knew that that's what I signed up for. I had to do it. It was also during COVID, so it was kind of really awkward. Like the classes were online and you couldn't really like feel the vibe out, in my opinion. And I knew on the inside I really didn't want to be there. I always wanted to move to Toronto, but Ottawa just seemed like a better option at the time because of COVID and like there was a lot of stuff happening in Toronto at the time. My mom thought, oh, like Toronto's such a big city, it's so chaotic, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't want to move there. Ottawa was a second choice, and I knew that the whole time. This whole time I thought, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this program. And unfortunately, I forgot about that decision that I made so many years before. And I had all of this anxiety. To tackle this anxiety, I gave in to the devil's lettuce as a coping mechanism. And I'm not hating on that in general. Lots of people use it. People use it to party and whatnot. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. But for me, I was using it to cover up all the anxiety I had. And I mean, it was very, very efficient. Like, let's be real. It was honestly like extremely efficient. I felt no anxiety, but at the same time, I felt no motivation. I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really sad. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I didn't really care to change it because I was fine existing in the moment that I was in. So I kind of just existed like that for a while and was just continuously rotting. Most of my days would just be like working out aggressively, eating, and then smoking, and that was essentially it. Which I would say it was a vibe at the time. Like, I mean, it's definitely not an awful lifestyle, but it's definitely not a motivational, like, goal achieving lifestyle either. I came to one point where I finally realized that this is not sustainable anymore, and I opened up to my parents and said, I want to move to Toronto. I don't like living here. This is not working for me. And being the understanding people they are, they were like, okay, like it's your path. Let's do it then. So I packed my bags, went home, and then I moved to Toronto. Now, I'm not going to say my path in Toronto was particularly steady either because I was still figuring out myself. I was still a young, little, impressionable child at the time. So I moved to Toronto, and I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because you want to hear about my like going to school, dropping out, going to school, dropping out situation. But I was working just working. And I was working at this Pilates studio. I still had like mild anxiety, I guess, but I was just working and figuring out life, so it kind of really wasn't bugging me, and I really chilled with the devil's lettuce, so that wasn't affecting me as much anymore. I was really like honing in on my life and trying to figure out my goals, which was really great, and I recommend, getting into journaling and really figuring out what you want to do. But I was doing that, and there was this new huge trend going on about saunas and ice baths. There was this girl from my gym. I had her on Instagram, and I saw on her Instagram story she posted from this ice bath, and this girl was super shredded. And something about the post was like, oh, activating your brown fat cells, like staying skinny, blah, 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 blah. You have to be in the ice bath for 2 minutes. So I saw that and I was like, okay, like I want to try that. And the place is actually right next to my work where I worked at. So I went and got a pass and I was like, okay, if this girl can do it, like I can do it too. And I went in the sauna, enjoyed the sauna, and I headed over to the ice bath. Now, there was like this guy there, and he was very kind and offered to walk me through my first ice bath, which I accepted because I definitely didn't know how to take it on myself. He also saw I was very hesitant about it. I got in the ice bath, y'all. The amount of anxiety that was released from my body is genuinely so insane. Like, I was sitting in there and literally like huffing and puffing. I was like, and the guide was literally like, do you want to leave? Like, you can, well, he didn't say it like that. He was more like, you have the option to get out if you feel like you need it. And I was like, no, I'm not getting out. Like, this girl, this shredded girl from my gym can stay in here for 2 minutes, and so can I. So I'm staying in here. So I'm literally hyperventilating like a freaking crazy person and sitting in here until 2 minutes. My body has never released more stress in my entire life. I got out and the guy was like, "Okay, you should be very proud of yourself." I'm like, "I am," because that was like crazy as hell. And then I did a second one which also felt good. After that, I had never felt so relaxed in my entire life. I went to bed feeling literally like a little angel, like I close my eyes and I'm like, beautiful sleep, like I don't need anything, like I am a lovely little boy enjoying the world. That's how I felt. I felt like, I don't know. I felt really good. So I started getting into it regularly. It was kind of really expensive, so I couldn't go super often, but I would do it at my home. I would like fill up my bath at home with like ice and stuff. And then one day I was chatting with one of my friends from work, and she told me that she got a job at this new sauna ice bath place and they were looking to hire people. With this newfound confidence I gained from just like doing these ice baths, I was like, "Oh, I love doing ice baths. Like, let me work there because the pay was so much higher." And I'm like, "I like doing that, so I'd rather like do that as a job than what I'm doing right now." I was doing like front desk, which was enjoyable, I guess, but like this was just more my vibe. So she set a meeting with the people. I met with them, and then we had a kiki. We got along a lot, and then they asked me to come up with some stuff like how would I lead people through the ice bath, etc., etc. I did very well, and they hired me. After they hired me, obviously we did a training where we learned about the ice bath, only for me to find out that the ice bath is a direct treatment for anxiety. Let me get into some science here, guys, okay? When you enter an ice bath, your body activates its fight or flight state. This is called your sympathetic nervous system. So you go in the ice bath and your body releases as much anxiety as is literally possible in your body. when you're in that ice bath, you have to learn how to breathe through it and breathe through the anxiety and bring yourself to a state of homeostasis while your body is releasing this anxiety. Okay. So my realization was that I did not have generalized anxiety disorder. I just had an overactive sympathetic nervous system and an unregulated nervous system. Your nervous system is made to protect you. So you have two states. You have your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight state, which is essentially the state that allows you to fight and flight. I mean, it's kind of like I'm not a scientist, guys, but this is just what I learned from my like 2-month course of preparing for working this job. So I'm not a specialist at this, but I know what I know. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that side of your nervous system is obviously necessary for, let's say, you're a singer and you go for an audition. You need anxiety to push yourself to actually do the thing and fight. Fighting is so important, okay? Your parasympathetic nervous system is the other state. So that's your rest and digest state. So that's the points in your life where you're extremely relaxed, and when you're in this state, that's when your body is actually able to heal. So your body needs to be in this state for it to digest its food and actually heal. Now, what I realized about myself is that I didn't have some anxiety disease where I was just going to have anxiety for the rest of my life and I had to deal with it. But in reality, I just had a sympathetic nervous system that activated way, 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 way too much. And these ice baths, they were just like a way of training myself to breathe out of it. When you go in the ice bath, you activate your anxiety to the highest level. So if you're able to breathe through that, regular levels of anxiety in everyday life is going to be so much more manageable, and instinctually your body will know how to calm yourself down. Ever since I've discovered this, I have never had anxiety to that point where I used to have it. If anything, I feel like I don't even have anxiety at all. I have it a little bit, but only when it's necessary and when it's important. Anxiety is no longer controlling me. I'm controlling my anxiety. And I thought back to when I was in therapy from many, many, many years ago, and what I thought was like the bullshit of my therapist, who literally had a degree and taught me how to breathe through anxiety. I was like, what the hell? Like, what, girl? Why would I breathe when I have anxiety? Like, I need to leave. Like, I can't do this. And she would tell me to do a box breath, which is 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold. At the time, I thought this was like literally the most nonsense I've ever heard. Honestly, I really wish she would have explained the anxiety like science a little bit more to me, but I'm going to explain it to you guys so you understand why that actually works. When you breathe in a box breath, which is breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. That's a steady balancing breath, and that signals your nervous system to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So when you're having anxiety, if you use that breath, you're activating the opposite side of your nervous system, and you're going to bring yourself to a state of homeostasis by calming your body. So it's like literally science, and I'm kind of delusional for thinking that wasn't even going to work, but she didn't explain it well enough to me, so honestly, not even my issue. But this is just kind of like all these realizations I've had all the time. So now I'm going to tell you how to make anxiety your bitch. Okay, first of all, if you were scared of getting in the ice bath, girl, go get in that damn ice bath, because you know what? If you can't even get yourself in the ice bath, you're recognizing your anxiety has taken over you so much that you cannot even get in there. I'm telling you, the first time I got in there, I had so much anxiety and it was really scary. But now I go in and I'm literally chilling so much. it doesn't even feel difficult at all because I've balanced my anxiety so much and my nervous system is so much more regulated. We as a society need to be encouraging regulating our nervous system before we try to take pills. And as I'm saying, there is nothing wrong with taking pills, but what I am going to say is if you have not even attempted to balance your nervous system, girl, you're skipping one of the most important things when dealing with anxiety. Okay? So, as the baddies we are, we're in the era of regulating our nervous systems, okay? So, what I want you to do, you're gonna fill up your bath with cold water, the coldest that is available. You don't even need to put ice in it because I'm not trying to send you into a spiral, okay? Think about the time where you've had extreme anxiety and you felt like you were gonna throw up and it literally stopped you from doing something, okay? Now, the ice bath, she's the same thing. You're at home and you're safe. No one is here to judge you. Step into that tub and just breathe through it for 30 seconds. That is just proof to yourself and to your body that you can push through anxiety for just 30 seconds. You're practicing, you're training for anxiety. Think about how when we go to the gym, we're training for our bodies to be better at doing things. Okay, I'm lifting weights so that I'm heavier for the next week. Or for, let's say, I need to carry something really big. I'm helping my friend move. Well, I'm really strong because I go to the gym. When you go in the ice bath, you're training your body to react to anxiety in a better way. I know I sound like a complete crazy person when I'm saying that ice baths fully cured my anxiety, but guys, like, I don't want to lie to you. Like, I honestly feel like it did. And I really am just trying to spread the energy of taking on control of your own body. Let's be real. If you can't get in the ice bath and push yourself for 30 seconds, your anxiety is controlling your body. You are not controlling your body. Why would you not want to be in control of your own body? And stop making yourself the victim here. You are not the victim. I thought I was a victim of anxiety. I'm not. You know who controls and who emits that anxiety? It's not some mysterious source out from the universe. Girl, it's your own body. You have the power to change it. You can fix yourself and you can make yourself better. You just need to try and you need to believe in yourself. If you think that you are just like burdened with having this anxiety for your entire life and there's nothing you can do about it, you're just going to have it for your entire life and that's that. It's just not true. It's true because you're telling yourself that and you're making that real. If you choose to believe that you can defeat anxiety, then you can. I'm no prophet, but I feel as if I am an ice bath prophet. But guys, like, if I can do it, you can do it too. And I don't want to hear all these excuses where, like, it's like, well, but like, people bullied me, but me. Okay. And I got bullied for being gay and I survived. And I now have no anxiety because I decided that I am not the victim. I am in control of myself. I am in control of my body. Come on, guys. It's empowerment moment right now. You control yourself. You control your future. You control how you react to situations. You have trained yourself to do this. No one else has trained you to do this. People can affect you in other ways, but you are allowing people to affect you. The reason that you have anxiety is because you allowed yourself to. Just allow yourself to not. Teach yourself to not have it. Fight it. Remember I said fight or flight moment? We need to stop with the flight. When you activate your sympathetic nervous system, we are going to move into an era where we fight. Come on. And now I sound like some motivational person on a TED Talk screaming at a bunch of people, but you know what? Maybe that's me. But anywho, I feel like I've definitely gotten my point across here. I'm going to make some more videos about anxiety and specific steps that you can take. But for now, I just want you to think about how you are allowing yourself to have anxiety and how you can choose to fight it. I did it, and so can you. And I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Come on, guys. Now, I'm going to wrap up this video because I feel like I've said everything I want to say, but I love you guys so much. I will see you next week. This was the Lukey Show. Ciao.